Good day, sir.
Hello.
How's it going?
It's good.
Oh, it's gonna have a new intro.
Oh,
We
do I
said
start
we
it over?
talked about that ages ago. I
Start.
don't know what it is.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
was that a false start? Like, what was that?
It was a false start. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So what's going on?
Nothing much. Just, being the best dad I can be and bastion of purity for all other parents. And
How are you being the best dad you can be?
I haven't thrown my dog or my kid and her new dog out of the house yet.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Because there's a new dog in the house.
Yes.
That is the responsibility of one of my children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Why do we have 3 dogs and 3 big dogs?
Well, I would answer that question by simply looking you dead in the eye and going, yeah, why do we have 3 dogs and 3 big ones?
Well, as I explained to you already, ADHD brain makes flash decisions based on the emotional brain, not the thinking or rational brain. And so emotions take over.
Yeah. And
In the heat of the moment with context. Context being no supervisors around to keep emotions in check.
So sorry, I don't need your exact age, but what age range are you in? What's your age range?
20
Nope.
to 50.
No, okay. So of legal age around the world, and you just said we have a 3rd dog because you didn't have adult supervision.
Did I say adult or appropriate supervision?
So our 12-year-old daughter is not appropriate supervision when you go to the SPCA.
No, I know. Neither of us had appropriate supervision to be our Jiminy Cricket. We lack Jiminy Cricket in the event of emotional decision making.
So is that an appropriate defense?
We're like Captain Kirk versus Spock. Like, let's think through this. No.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you murder someone.
See, that's different.
How? If it was an emotionally driven event and no one was there to say, hey, man, don't murder that person.
Well, there's morals and ethics and values involved.
And there just isn't with picking up dogs.
Well,
Just
yeah.
like, look at that dog.
This
Look at that
guy
dog.
has been trapped in a shed for 4 months, and I have a heart that needs to save and love and bring
All right, Florence Nightingale. You didn't know his backstory until well after you brought him home.
We did know that he was in need, was not treated great, severe anxiety. I did know all of this. And I know that there was alluding to not being well treated.
So this wasn't going to be my question, but as we go down this path, I think I'm going to change my back to school question. And the question's going to be, how, as a sane parent, do you deal with a dog, a puppy, being brought into the house a month before back to school when the kids aren't going to be here to be responsible for it? So as a sane parent, I just want to clarify rules. I am considering myself the sane parent. I'm considering you not insane, but the unsupervised parent.
I'm sane. I am, well, that one guy, we should keep the link to it, who talks about his ADHD wife.
Oh,
and he's like, it's like living with the Child's Wish Foundation something like that every day. That's what it is. I just know it's going to work out. It's going to be great.
All right. Excellent.
There have definitely been low moments when I've had the puppy alone by myself trying to work, certainly. But hey, house trained already. I've done the foundation for you. I don't think we need to do a whole podcast.
No, I'm kidding. That's not my question. Trust me.
I've house trained him. I mean, he's still needy in terms of separation anxiety.
Have you trained him to not howl at 10:35 in the evening?
No. Hound dogs. I've learned a lot in the past couple of weeks of hound dogs.
Again, those couple of weeks being after she's formally adopted the dog, not research before getting the dog. Continue.
Yeah. So howl a lot.
Yeah.
Like
about everything. Like
and his whole body, it starts from his tail and goes all the way up his body to the tip of his nose. It's awesome, except when we're trying to sleep at night.
Yeah. Or leave the room that he's in, or don't make direct eye contact with him for 30 seconds and he gets worried.
Or he doesn't like his dinner.
Yeah. Or we took away Sonny's dinner and told him not to eat it.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything we do.
He doesn't like.
Yeah.
Or if he wants to play, hey, it's like a kid. It's like raising a kid.
Nope. Because there's babysitters.
We could get a dog sitter, although they are expensive. So, and the other thing that I didn't realize, hound dogs smell bad. Didn't know that. Thought it was just his baby drool. No, hound dogs have
So to recap, gentle listener, my wife had zero emotional control and brought home the biggest, smelliest, loudest dog she's ever seen. And is passing it off as it's going to work out great.
It will. It's going to work out great. But to be fair, he's itty bitty right now because he's a puppy.
He is literally half of Pepper's size already. He is 5 months old.
Yes, he's grown a lot. He smelled fantastic when I picked him up when I met him first. So, and he was quiet. He was so scared of everything. He didn't say boo. So I did not know those things.
So you basically went to the car lot and bought the shiny, beautiful looking car that blew up a block away from the car dealership.
He's a good puppy.
He's a very good puppy. He was just an unexpected addition to our household.
It is a lot of work for sure.
Boy, is it.
And we've not had all 3 dogs together, which is a big eye opener. It's always been 2, 1 or 2 at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. We've learned that Sonny most definitely has boundaries and is not afraid to enforce them. And we've also discovered that Pepper is secretly an emo teenager that just wants to be left alone because she's depressed and hates the new dog.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also discovered that he will eat anything in anyone else's bowl. And he's already big enough to get pretty much up on the counter and go searching for whatever he wants. And he's supposed to get 10 times bigger.
Yep.
The big, smelly, loud dog
hound
that was brought home.
Who, by the way, this is my exciting point, can hunt cougars and can save me from cougars when I go for a hike by myself in the mountains.
So that's an aspirational statement of me that my wife is making, because right now he is scared of the corners of the walls if they come up on him too quickly. Literally, I watched him turn and the corner scared him. He kicked a pillow off the couch the other day and nearly pooped himself everywhere. Like he's definitely overcoming some anxiety and fear. But anyway, we now have Milton. Good old Milton.
From the Lorax, the donkey in Lorax.
He is a donkey, all right.
So what's your question?
So let me just process the dog. I didn't mean to bring up all those feelings. So my question, back to school.
Was it a bad decision?
Yeah, it 100% was a bad decision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you know him now? Do you love him yet?
He's fine.
Okay.
The question is never whether I like dogs. I've stated this a few times. I like dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I naturally like dogs. I don't need 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need 2 of them. But that decision didn't work out in my favor either. So now we have 3 of them. And they keep getting bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's true, actually.
Yeah, every single one, you're like, nah, that size isn't right. You're like the reverse Goldilocks. This dog isn't the right size. This dog isn't the right size. I'm going to get one that's the size of a small import car.
Well, I was going to get a Burmese Newfoundlander. So at least it's not that big. Well, maybe he is going to be that big, actually. I don't know. I did mean to get a small dog. Our 3rd dog was supposed to be lap dog.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
Yeah, you sure swung in the opposite direction.
Anyway, I keep interrupting.
Anyways, my question. So school's just around the corner. So how, as a parent, do you or should you set some scholastic goals or goals in general for the kids as they go back to school? Because we always try and talk to the girls that if you're going to do something, there's a reason behind it, right? It doesn't always work. They kind of they kind of do their thing. But the goal of it is, if you're going to do something, do it well, do it to the best of your ability, but know why you're doing it.
Mhm.
Right. And our girls don't do well if they don't know why they're doing something. It tends to be a struggle for them. So the thought behind that is how do we work with them, or subtly try and get them, or what's the best way to set goals for kids that they can actually be a part of and work on? And it could be anything. It could be social, could be academic, could be just anything within the kind of general construct of the school year.
Mm-hmm. Actually, this ties nicely with another podcast episode that I'm doing on overpowering emotions, because I'm talking about goal setting with your kids. And I've actually created some worksheets, so I can add it all the links
Dude,
to this one.
I'm so good at this.
It's so good. Well, first of all, I would say we do not set goals. It's a collaborative affair with our kiddos about what those are. And I'm glad that you brought it up now, because there's still hopefully a little bit of time. I think some kids are already going back to school, so it depends on where in the world you are. I know we've got a little bit of time before our girls go back, but now might be good to start setting other goals that kids are motivated by. Saving up for the new, I don't know what stations are, like Xbox game, or
well, this is fantastic. I'm not helping you with this.
Are there Xbox still in existence?
I got this.
I don't even know.
Saving up for what other toys that the kids want? This is great. You're going to say Furby at some point.
Furby. No, I was going to say like
Xbox is still a thing.
It's still a thing.
PlayStation's still a thing. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a game for one of those.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. But maybe it's to. Well, Maya had a goal of running for a month straight, and to earn herself a record.
So interesting about that. I'm glad you brought that up. So she stated her intent to try and run, right? She wanted to run for that month. I'm the one that brought forward the idea of a reward at the end of it, because I know she doesn't like running.
No.
And frankly, there's few things in this world she hates more.
Yeah.
So I said, look, I'm proud of you. I think that's a great idea, to give you some incentive to try and make it through. And what I was trying to do was help her get through the rougher part, because when you start running, albeit I'm a few years removed from it, I always found the first week or two was brutal, right? As you get into it and you get used to it and your body kind of gets used to it. So I didn't want her giving up. She didn't. She made it all the way through. But this is a great point to the question. As soon as she achieved her month and the record, she
stopped.
Right. Even though she said she's going to start it, she was going to continue. So she's effectively going to have to start from scratch because she didn't continue. So that's another component of it. How do you work to set the goal, and then how do you work on potentially moving through it beyond it?
Yeah. So now, if there's time, setting a small little goal just to get the whole routine, the whole process under their belts. And we can go through, maybe if there's time at the end, all the little steps to be successful. And I'll have a little outline for that anyways. But yeah, so we would first sit down and collaboratively talk about the goals. And I would make it maybe a family affair. If you don't want to do it with all the kids at the same time, if you have more than one, maybe it is individually as parents with, each child, but everybody do it. And I think for us too, really, like to set, what is our goal? So you want to establish an overarching goal, but really you want a SMART goal. And I'll break that down. I've got worksheets. It's very specific. You know exactly what it is, right? It's relevant. That's going to be important. It's achievable. And it's measurable and within a time frame. So I'll have that broken down. But, so maybe the goal is, if it comes to academics, don't base it on an outcome. So that's where so many kids or parents fail, when we expect that they achieve 80% in their core subjects. That's an outcome that really they don't have any control over. You just don't know, especially in a subject like English, for example, right? It could be so subjective. Our kids could be studying every night for 5 hours, but maybe they study the wrong thing. So it's not about the outcome. It's about the effort and the process that they're putting into it. So something they do have control over is handing in every single assignment, right? Handing in assignments on time, whatever that is. So you want to focus on the things that they have effort on. I think it's good. I feel like I establish these ideals at the beginning of every year, but we've never really followed through. And this year, Maya's going into grade 12, Willow's getting into grade 7. And so I want to establish these for her before she goes into high school, because I really worry about her in high school. Where it's more about the process of study habits for me, so that would be, I think, for our family, what would be most relevant. And so breaking that down for them, what that's going to look like. And I'll get to that in a minute, but for your family, thinking about what is it that your kiddos need. And I would say start young, even if you have kids who are just starting in kindergarten or grade 1, establish a learning time after school. Maybe it's a snack and review every single day. I think that would be so helpful, because everything that I see kids struggling with now, I don't know if it was a pre-COVID thing, a post-COVID thing. I don't know if COVID has anything to do with it, but the kids that I work with now who are in high school have no idea about study habits and review. Like, they cram and don't do great, and they just don't know the importance of establishing those habits. So that's why I think that would be a great goal for so many families, but you got to look at what's important for you.
So using that one as an example, because I agree, I think that's a good idea. So with what you just said, Maya going to grade 12 and then most likely going on to post-secondary, and Willow going into grade 7. In establishing that time, that learning time or review time, should we as parents be a part of that as well? Like, we would sit down and do something. So, okay. So I guess the question then becomes, what's the best way for us to be doing it? Because we're not given as much to review. So is it more just we take a Udemy course or something and work on it while they're working on it? Like, what's the best way to kind of demonstrate that?
Yeah. Can I come back to that question in just one quick second? Because now that I'm thinking through this isn't so much a goal, this is an expectation I want to set up, right? It's a habit that I want to form in our family. And I think that that's okay. The collaborative piece might be, what is it that you're working on? Like, they have control over, well, it's not even collaborative. They have control over that. But as a family, the expectation is we're going to do our half-hour review of learning time, whatever that is, every single day. The goals, though, I'll come back to that one in a second, because I do think that they should pick based on what's important to them, based on our life wheel. So is it a friendship goal to start with? They might have 2 or 3. Is it an academic goal? Is it a personal well-being goal, right? It could be anything. And so to start the process, I would definitely want to focus on something that was important to them, that they wanted to do. For us, establishing this expectation, it could be anything. It could be our own course that we're learning. And so we are going through that, learning it at that time. I think that's a great idea.
Like good dog ownership or something, like how to be a good owner of multiple dogs, something like that.
Well, I've got so many courses that I've purchased, like virtual stuff, that I'm like, I got it. When will I ever get through these? So that could be a good time where I'm actually sitting down and doing that. So yeah, it could be that. It could be us reviewing our day. And I think that's a good habit for all of us to do. Review our day, what went well, what's on the tap for tomorrow, what's our priorities for tomorrow. So for adults, it could be something like that too, just establishing our top 3 priorities for the next day. It could be something like that. But then for the girls, I mean, everybody would have to figure out what that is. But one thing that I definitely see in terms of poor study habits is they don't know how to study. And we know research shows that a little bit, even 5-10 minutes, reviewing your notes from what you learned today and previous days, that's how we study. In the moment, 5 or 10 minutes doesn't feel like a lot. It doesn't feel like we're actually learning anything, but it's over time that we're reviewing and reviewing and reviewing and reviewing and reviewing. As they get older, like when they really do have big exams, I would say if they know it, they can talk about it, highlight it in green. That stuff isn't something they need to review. They understand it, but can't really talk about it or still need to learn more, highlight that in yellow. Red is, I have no idea. It's like, I've never learned this. That's where we're focusing the review on.
Right.
So just to give them purpose, because they're just going to review stuff and mindlessly read through things that they're not going to be actively taking it in. So I think that's a whole other episode on how they study effectively, but that's just a kind of an idea of just making it purposeful. But yeah, I would say even just reviewing, what was it that they've already learned today? And then at the end of that time, it could be, if you've got younger kids, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because you could do this. Like I said, if they're in kindergarten, start it then.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the end of that time, we just kind of talk about what we reviewed and what we learned in that time.
So this leads me to a natural extension of that is, how do you get buy-in from the kids to do this?
Mm-hmm.
We have willful children, but we've struggled to get them to accept support and help in the education kind of process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's a good way to try and get them to not see it as a punishment?
Yeah. Well, I've been planting the seeds already. Like, this is what I've been thinking. What do you think? And Maya was like, yeah, like, I like that. And then Willow, sure, right?
Yeah.
But they're not really thinking too much of it. But I think if we say, as a family, we're establishing this time, now let's work together. This is where the collaborative piece is. So the expectation is there. That's not an option. But within how we do it could be an option. When's the best time? Probably right after school, but that's something we could collaborate. When is the best time? I would make it a fun atmosphere, so they're actually looking forward to it. So we're making an awesome snack,
Mm-hmm.
right, that we only have available for this time. Maybe we're doing something fun right after as well, right? So we just want to set up that environment so that they are looking forward to it, and and they do have control within it about what it is that they're going to do.
Yeah, so we're not necessarily dictating the topic, we're dictating the exercise itself, and let them. So on that note, how do you make sure that someone like, I don't know, Willow, doesn't use that as an excuse just to read Archie's, because she has a huge story convincingly that it ties into what they learned about today, because Archie was in the 1950s and we learned about the 1950s and blah, 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 right? Like, how do you let them have control, but still, I guess, how much leeway do you give them?
Yeah, I think it's good to establish rules right from the start and expectations as a family. Like, what are some rules? As a family, probably no electronics,
Mm-hmm.
well, phones, so social media, if your kids have social media. So it's probably something like that. School materials, you're going through school materials, whether that's your notes or whatever. Like, it could be those types of things.
Okay.
that I would talk about with the kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then also in terms of, and I'm just thinking through the conversation we're going to have, right? And my kids don't like to think this, but they're super predictable. Maya will not want to do it with us. She would prefer to do it in her room. So is it okay for everybody to do it spread out? Is it better to do it as a collective? What's the best way to try and make it effective?
I actually think she would do it with us. She's been bringing her paintings up and doing that with. I think she would. If we were doing it as a family, I think we would. I'd like to make that one of the expectations, as long as you're on.
Like within the general area.
Yeah. You can be in the living room or in the kitchen. Like, you can go on the couch or be at the table, whatever you prefer. In my mind, we're all sitting at the island.
Yeah.
In my mind. Yeah. But that doesn't have to be a hard and fast rule. So it could just be, what do you guys think about all sitting here? Right. So yeah, I would want it to be a family endeavor so that we're all there, because as soon as one person sneaks away, then the other one's going to be like, well, why can't I just sneak away? And you know what I mean? Like, I think it could just all fall apart. So, but those are the things you want to think about, is where, when, how are we going to do it? The what, maybe just almost have an agenda, like it's a proper meeting. Okay, everybody, what is it that you're working on today? Mm-hmm. Right? Just so we can kind of talk about it, and then we're debriefing at the end. But yeah, I don't know if that answers.
Yeah, no, that does. Yeah. That does. And then the last thing that I was thinking of in terms of this, because I like all of this, how do you manage that when you have other stuff going on? Yeah. And that's what I was thinking about, like, in terms of the best time. It's easy for us to say now because sports are not on. We're not working today. Yeah.
So I think it might be helpful to do, if you're doing your family meetings on Sundays, is to look at the week ahead
and plan it out.
and plan it out, because there's a few things that, like for us, we do our date night, once a month with each of the girls. So that might be it, right? And we can't always do it on the date. It's supposed to be their date of their birthday every single month. So it might not be, but it's just looking at that week ahead, right? And so just establishing that calendar of who's where, who needs to do what, where are we going to put in our review time? So I think ideally, I mean, for our kids, they're older. And so I still think right after school will probably work, just because their practices and games are getting later and later. But yeah, we can look at that and have flexibility. Maybe you've got passes, right? Maybe we do this 4 days out of the week.
Right.
So which day is going to be our pass day, right?
Yeah.
Or you could do, have the expectation at 7 days, and that's fine. Maybe there's 2 passes if we need to have them or something like that. So yeah, it's just being flexible with the family. But I still think setting it up as a family, like every Sunday, let's just quickly sit down, look at our calendar. And that's just a good time too, just to delegate tasks that need to be done or whatever else, remind kids of appointments, or I don't know.
Yeah. Just manage the week.
Yeah.
So anything else with that we haven't covered that's probably a good idea to think about?
Well, that's one just for setting like an expectation, maybe like for a healthy habit. But yeah, always do it as a family. Make it as fun as possible and bring positive energy to it as well. As soon as we're like homework, just the word homework, our brain wants to shut down, and then it becomes an obligation. So us bringing that energy, like, yes, I get to look forward to learning about the nervous system today or whatever it is, right? And so I think us bringing our enthusiasm, even if I know we are stressed and we have work, and I know that that's going to be a barrier. Actually, that's a good point too to bring up, is address any barriers. Where could this go sideways? Mm-hmm. Where might this go? What might get in the way of us being successful, and how are we going to address those? That would be good as well. But bringing that positive energy. Goal setting then is a little bit different, but I mean, some of the same things will apply then. Yeah,
I think we kind of went down a path in terms of a specific process. But I think it still kind of speaks to the how do you establish goals? Because really within that, for academics, you could use that time to reinforce whatever the goal is, right? Mm-hmm. If the review is more about the scholastic piece, but your goal for the year was to help them socially, that could be a time to review it, right? Talk about it. Still focus on the learning, but still as part of the review, how'd the day go? Mm-hmm. I know we used to bug the girls all the time about making friends, right? Who's the new person that you met today or you talked to today? And as much as it annoyed them, they got very comfortable kind of talking with anyone at any time, mm-hmm. right? And establishing some form of relationship. So that could be a good time to do it as well.
Yeah. And we never made the rule, just to clarify, of making friends, because that's an outcome.
Yeah.
Where we don't know, maybe nobody will ever like our girls. So we can't establish making friends. It was more about planting
initiating conversation.
It was more about the social anxiety. Yeah. So the process of that, reaching out to people. It really does make a difference. So it's looking at what is their area, and I all have in the show notes worksheets that you can work through. And I've got different ages. And even if they're young, you can help them fill out some of these things. But what is important? Is it doing more fun things? Mm-hmm. Is it something like I want to improve my penmanship? Is it, nurturing relationships that I have? Is it whatever it is,
right.
Getting along with my sibling? I don't know. I don't think that'll be anybody's goal. But then from there, creating what is your overarching goal. So if it is, I want to, I just had another idea. I can't even remember. You just want to be able to break it down. So maybe it is, I'm going to hand in all of my assignments. Okay, well, what do we need to do? So work at the end of the semester when all of your assignments are handed in. Now let's walk backwards, all of those steps that you need to do, and then we work forwards.
Right.
And so it would be looking at, for the older kids, what's the syllabus? what are the deadlines, you know, all of those kinds of things. For younger kids, it might just be a simple system of like a folder,
Yeah.
right? On the one side, whenever you have an assignment, you put it in the left-hand side of the folder. As soon as you bring it home, we look at it. That could be part of our half-hour learning time. As soon as it's done, it goes to the right side of the folder. That's when you know you can hand it in. So maybe it's just setting up a system for them that they start. So that's the first step, is figure out what system is going to work. And now we're going to use it consistently. We're going to tweak it. So it's step by step. I'll put some examples in there too for everyone to follow. Anything else, Dad? Anything that you were thinking of?
Dad?
What?
You just called me you just said anything else, Dad.
No, anything else you're thinking of.
Oh, I'm like, that's super weird that you're giving me a title all of a sudden. No, that was about it. It was really just more about, just the overall job. Everything's going to be different, right? Like this is a weird topic in the sense that there's so many variables for every family, right? So it's more just about how do you kind of approach the idea of setting up some stuff. And I think you covered that for sure.
Yeah. Important goals, if you're not sure. I mean, again, we want to use our kids' interests, but I just want to say the social emotional stuff is more important than the academic stuff. They can learn the academic stuff anytime later on, but it is so much harder to turn around their self-esteem, their confidence as a learner, you know, just their self-efficacy, all of those things I would focus on more than anything. That's really what we need to protect.
You make sure they're comfortable, right? Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Well, Beans, thank you.
Thank you, Dog Queen.